The backbreaker. It is huge and heavy, but it was made to get the job done. It was made in huge numbers, almost matching the volume of the class 15 and the class 27-28. Like the 27 had a smaller sibling, the Singer 28, the 66 also had a smaller brother or sister too, the 99. The 99 was 3/4 the size of the 66, but mechanical it was the same. Back to the 66. The 66 was in production since 1907, outclassing the existing sewing machines. The British-built 66 was in production until 1939. At the end of the video I will tell you more on the refurbished 66 models. This is a Singer 66 built in 1927. Depending on this list I found, it is probably a Singer 66-6. It has a motor, a solid balance wheel, but not a lever for adjusting the stitch length distance. It is missing cover plate, but it looks decent for its age. So it seems at first sight. The optional boulder motor is operated by a knee lever. Normal foot pedals can slide along the floor when you're pressing really hard. The knee lever always stays in the same place. Unfortunately, the motor is for 110 volts and we have 220. But I can show you how to thread it. And I have more information after we have threaded this machine. The threading is being done with this 66, a 66.5 bought only for this next chapter. New to the world of the 66, it needs a standard 15x1 needle, also known as the 130/705H. But you need the class 66 bobbins. They are different to the standard bobbins. I recommend you to use metal 66 bobbins only. Before you can sew, you need an upper and lower thread. We have to wind the bobbin first. Slide an empty bobbin on this knob. And place a spool on top of the machine and guide the thread along this hook far left and this notch towards the empty bobbin and through the hole. Press the unit towards the balance wheel. The rubber wheel needs to make contact with the balance wheel. When you turn the clutch plate on the rear to the left, you can wind without the needle moving. And now you can wind the bobbin. When it is full, this pin will disengage the unit, but you can flip the pin yourself too. Put it into the case. The thread should travel counterclockwise. Take the end of the thread and slide it into the groove. And move the thread away from you until it reaches the notch underneath and the thread moves more free. The spool sits on top. Guide it along this hook, then down to the tension assembly between the discs. Let the spring catch the thread. Left under this hook and then up. Through this arm, right to left. Down and behind this hook. And just above the needle, the second hook. The needle sits with the flat side facing right. The thread goes through the needle from left to right. Pull up the lower thread and now you're ready to sew. The class 66 can handle light materials but also thick canvas. I have some leather, so I will do a test with leather. 2 pieces of leather is not a problem. Even the third layer is still no problem. Look at the transition, it looks good and a nice stitch. Like I said, the machine will get the job done. It operates like a Model 15, but it does not have a bobbin holder, nor a race tucked underneath the bed. No, a drop style bobbin, which makes changing the bobbin a real easy job. Just press this knob. When sewing, the hook picks up the thread and pulls it around the end of the race and then returns. It is a horizontal placed oscillating system. The other system you may know is the rotating system like this 201. With this 201, the hook makes a complete rotation. The 66 does not do that. What else to tell you? Well, you need to maintain it. Feed it some oil. Drop some droplets in the holes on the machine. But also behind the cover plate. Behind the inspection plate on the rear. And underneath the machine. Everything that moves can use oil. There's also a red oil wick beneath the race. It looks like a red piece of cloth. Well, it does have a knob to adjust the stitch length, but most 66 models do not have a lever like this one. So it does not have a reverse. After World War II, a lot of 66s were rebuilt from scratch. Most of those machines have the paperclip decals, and most are missing this Singer badge. They also have a non-Singer third-party bolt-on motor. This is an original Singer motor. This is a legend. And this was all the information I was able to share with you. Enjoy your machine, and if you have any questions, drop me a line.